I'm gonna go.
Okay. All right. I'd like to call this meeting of the South County Senior Center Board of Oversight to order, please. Agenda here. And we all know the speaker guidelines, one at a time, follow. Uh, Present, looks like we're all here.
Yep.
And we have one discussion item. So I hope this won't get dragged out too long. But we have a South County Senior Center space status update. And maybe Jennifer, you can give just a brief overview. I think everybody has spoken to you separately, but if you just
Sure. So as you know that we received two proposals or bids for the RFP that was put out for us to have space. We're in negotiations with the two entities that submitted them, Delta Sand and Gravel and Holy Family Roman Catholic Church. We had a couple meetings with Father Dave at Holy Family, and negotiations seem to be going well. Our most recent one, the other week, we were asked to not host any events that did not go along with the teachings of the Catholic Church, which we are and their space, which we are able to accommodate. Also, during the course of the meeting, we were asked not to share or provide any information while we are at the parish space regarding any events that go against Catholic teachings. I shared that we do have a specific event every month about that, and that we host that. And I asked if that would, a different location. I asked if that would be an issue. Unfortunately, they asked that that they prefer we do not share that information while in their space. So unfortunately, trying to remove that particular item from our newsletter, it's been there. It's an event we host every month. It's been there for 2 years. So, after brainstorming and trying to determine, it's not feasible for us to do that because we do have legal obligations to our community partners where we receive grant funding from, and we strive to be welcoming, to everyone in our community. And so that's where we are at an impasse.
So I have a question, if I could. I know Casey was reaching out to get some language from the church on what was their request, so that we could see, obviously something in paper that we could understand what it would be. And I know that she's in the middle of that process. I don't know if it's completed yet, and I can check in with her. But the other thing I wanted to understand, like in writing from the church, what was it exactly that they didn't want to happen? I know we're still going to advertise to all of our members, regardless of their orientation, in our newsletter. Is it just that they don't want the newsletter physically in the church, or is it something they don't want us to advertise in our newsletter? So those are the two things I'm just waiting to understand truly, because it's a touchy subject, and we want to make sure that obviously we're supporting all of our members, and we're grateful for that space. But if again, if we can't accommodate their request, then we can't. But I know Casey's waiting to hear back, and I'm not sure if they were looking to put through I think I would feel more comfortable having something from them that said, this is what we expect from you. Then we can decide, yes, that's something we can do, or no, that's something we can't do, because it would jeopardize our grants, and it just goes against our beliefs, as they have beliefs. So just want to try and nail that down again.
Yeah, I'd second that. Just to say, the only, like, on the draft note, it said, given the conditions. I didn't know if there was one condition or more than one condition, and some just a little kind of clarity on that would be great.
Sure. I expressed that we hosted our Rainbow Elders
Mhm.
monthly luncheon, which is supportive of the LGBTQ plus community. We host them in Sunderland once a
Mhm.
month through a community partnership with LifePath.
Yep.
And they do not want us to advertise that event while at the parish space.
Right. So,
I shared that
um,
it was in our monthly newsletter. They
yeah,
asked, they rather it not be.
well, and then again, so they can rather, but truly what's in the lease is what's most important. So that's why I wanted hard language, and they could rather us not do that, but we are going to advertise and we are going to support that community. Um, it may not have to just be in their church, like, so that I was trying to find a common ground where, look, if they don't, they're not going to dictate what's in our newsletter, but we don't have to bring that newsletter to the church either. So that was, I didn't know if that would be a middle ground that we could do, and everything we're going to do, like we do the luncheon at our center, not at their church. And I'm just trying to find a middle ground, and so that we had language from them that, hey, this is what we're planning to do. We're not going to have the newsletter there. We are still going to advertise the newsletter. It will be not on this property. If we kind of had that
Yeah,
stuff out in language, and
oh,
then they could decide
Trevor, I think, if that's way too much. I
what's too
think,
much.
like, well, if in some of our space we're allowed to talk about all of our programs, and some of our space we're not allowed to talk about our programs,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, I think we should be able to talk about what we do no matter where we are.
Okay,
Um,
that's fair
uh,
enough.
I think I think that's too far to go to.
Okay,
I think we could be challenged on that. I think we
yeah,
could legally be challenged on that, and it's just a lot simpler to cut the cut the ties at this point.
okay.
I
Well,
don't think they want to edit our newsletter.
no, no, agreed. They're not allowed to do
And,
that. And
and
and so
so even if we're
my,
there, we're, and they say, okay, well, we're, you know, we don't like your newsletter, but you can't bring your newsletter in here. That's
yeah,
ridiculous.
and
Um,
that's
it's
why I
just
wanted
like that's too far.
that's why I wanted them to put that in writing so we could deny that. You know what I mean? Because right now it's not yet on anything in writing.
Well, if they drag their feet until no, just until May 31st, then we've got,
Yeah,
we need them to respond. And I think this
yeah,
letter telling them, that because you want us to be, I mean, the only words I've heard are neutral on social issues.
uh-huh.
And I gotta say, there isn't a neutral on this. There
Correct.
isn't,
I support you
there
100% on
neutral.
that. I
There's
don't,
no neutral, and I don't think
right.
there's really a good compromise on
Yeah,
this that doesn't endanger $250,000 worth of grants in just this
yeah.
past year.
Or just our beliefs as well.
Yeah,
We want to be
and not to
explicit.
mention, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
trying to keep my emotions out of it, but
Yeah.
we,
I just they've been good neighbors to us, and good people, and great helpful to us in our time of need. And
yeah,
I wanted to just know, true, did they really want to put that in writing
you
to us
know,
that we didn't
Trevor,
want to do this?
we've been asking for wording for more than a week. We've been, and,
Okay.
they're not forthcoming.
Okay.
So if we start the ball rolling with the letter to tell them, look, we will not be neutral on social issues. We can't. It's a legal issue. And not even put any of our, I mean, there's many reasons why we shouldn't, why we shouldn't give in to that sort of condition, but
Yes.
let's stick with the easy one, which is the legal issues. We can't really do that. And I think they understand about separation of church and state, and it doesn't always feel good to their side. And I completely like I don't want to do something like, rub something in their noses about, oh, well, we're morally superior or anything like that. I
Right,
don't know
no,
that we are, but
right,
it's just that this is a legal issue, and we
yep,
don't need to go anywhere else with it.
okay,
And they can't tell us what to put in our. In some ways, I don't know how Jennifer feels about it. I feel like it has sort of poisoned the relationship a little bit
yeah, I
because
didn't know, because it wasn't an issue for 2 years, we've been, rolling along just fine, and then all of a sudden this came out of nowhere, so.
yeah,
Didn't,
yeah. And
The,
would we be comfortable going there knowing that they don't approve of these other things we do and that they want
yeah,
to, you know, and I can understand from their point of view, it's their property, it's
yep,
their,
they're right, yeah,
and it helps us to be able to rent that. It helps
mhm,
them that we give them money for it.
yeah,
So this co-beneficial relationship was fine.
mhm,
But will we want
didn't
to
feel,
rent there knowing that they really
yeah,
don't like some of the other things we do and
yeah,
they want to put some restrictions on what we do when we're there? I
right,
don't, you know, I sort of feel like there 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 could be like friction there just because of that, just
okay,
because they asked.
yep, I respect that opinion for sure.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to weigh in?
I'm fine with the draft letter, just, it sounds like it's a condition rather than conditions.
Yeah,
Yeah. So what's that the
That's all.
second wording,
I can
yeah, so
modify the
change
letter.
conditions to condition. I use
Yeah, I think there's
conditions
only the one, so,
Okay,
more
so
general.
you would
yeah.
Yeah,
like that to be the condition, given the condition
yeah.
placed on the renewal.
That's
Okay. Any
that.
other revisions?
and then, so are we sending that to the Deerfield Select Board to address?
I
Is
The
that
think
our
we can
Deerfield
process
send
Select
this
it.
Board
way?
was a separate one, but I can direct it to whomever you would like and
Well, I just
whichever
didn't know
one you would like.
who had to, who had,
It can
if
be,
Deerfield was the leasee, I mean, we would take the recommendation of this board. And that's
yeah.
we always do.
Okay.
Yeah, we always, we would always take the recommendation of this board moving forward. I just didn't know what the process was. It was, this board recommends to the Deerfield Select Board that that we send this letter, and we, if we can't come to a pass, we're done, or we're just done, or however we want to do it. And then we could send
Oh,
along that letter, and then work on another place to be, because that's the
I
other issue.
I just want to share what we did. I reached out to all of you individually after the meeting the other week. And when I spoke with Joyce, she suggested or said that we could potentially use the Whately Town Hall for the enhanced fitness class for exercise.
Oh, okay,
And emailed over to their interim town administrators. I haven't gone forth yet because no decision has been made, but
right,
that avenue is open for larger events. I'm considering or looking at, all the larger venues in all three communities. So using the Whately Town Hall, the potentially, the Polish Club, the Sunderland
hmm,
Congregational Church, just to use as a one-off event, so not on a regular basis, and we would use our
yeah,
Sunderland space for our programming daily.
okay,
Because the only event we really can't host here is the enhanced fitness due to the leveling of the floors.
right,
Um, But,
space, yeah,
if there's a seated dance class that we have, we could have the chairs out and that can be used, and for other things where it's not standing up and the fall risk increases.
okay,
Um,
yeah.
And I've spoken with staff and asked for their input as to, how we would rearrange things, and we will rearrange the space to be conducive to hosting programming here regularly. And we have the option to utilize parking, if we ask ahead of time with the bank next door. And once this was all settled, my question was also going to go out to the town of Sunderland to see if potentially we could use parking in front of the building or in the back, and then do shuttles over if we have other events. But we would potentially use the parking right up the street, but we would work on that once everything was solidified. So I haven't done anything in those because I wanted for a final decision.
Do you know, in case you might be able to answer this, if we executed the lease for the place you're in now, the administrative offices, has that been done? Or I can't remember if we did that at the select
it's-
board or not.
There was a meeting. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
Sorry, I was just gonna add, that's a work in progress. I've actually adjusted the wording from the previous lease to reflect the new conditions that Jennifer and I met with TJ Conroy about last week. And Trevor, at the
Okay.
next meeting of the Deerfield Select Board, I'll be bringing that before you.
Thank you, Chris. That's
Sure.
great. Okay. So do you
So
need a
it sounds
motion?
like, I was just going back to the email that Jennifer sent earlier, and I noticed what I got was 2 letters that were to Holy Family Church. I didn't get one that was to the Deerfield Select Board and one was to Holy Family, but I think that's easy to clear up. That's
Mhm.
we
Yeah.
we have the letter to Holy Family Church, and we have we write a letter to the Deerfield Board of Selectmen, letting them know that we do not want to pursue this lease given the conditions.
I
It
thought
could
I sent
almost
them
be,
both over to you, so I will resend the town of Deerfield one, because it's basically,
yeah, I got 2 copies of the same letter.
Yeah, right.
oh, my apologies. Wish someone had said something before. I would have made sure they got resent. Hold on. Do that right now. My apologies. Okay, here you go. Let me know if it came through or not.
I think I just got something with your name on it here.
Okay, so. Okay. And
Happy to make any changes. Just let me know what you would like.
Yeah,
no,
I think as a courtesy, send with this letter a copy of the one to Holy Family Church.
mhm.
I agree with that.
And
Yeah.
putting enclosure at the base of that. Any wording change in the body of the letter?
I think that one's perfect, short, sweet, to the point.
I realized when I originally sent this over, I put South County Senior Center. Do you want me to put Board of Oversight underneath that for the header? Or put it underneath your names?
Oh, right, probably
Board of Oversight.
chair, member, and member of the Board of Oversight. That's probably, yeah, we should somehow indicate that we're the
Yeah,
Board of
I
Oversight
realized that
there.
when after I sent
Yep.
it. So do you want it under your names or at the header?
Probably the header and from the chair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever yours is full.
91%. That's pretty good. Okay. All right.
Okay. Any additional changes? I
Nope.
can screen share if you need me to, or do you think this
No,
is?
I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm fine if you put in the Board of Oversight.
Yep. Okay.
Um,
And then I
part.
put it under each of your names, I put chair, Board of Oversight, chair, and then member for the other two.
Okay.
And then enclosure.
All right.
Do you want to electronically sign, or I know
Oh,
Joyce
I would
wants
have to
do that, but,
electronically sign. So,
Right.
if
That's right.
if you send me one that doesn't say draft, I
Yep.
will add my signature to it and email it right back. And I don't know if
Yeah.
Dan and Trevor can sign it in person or
Yep. I could
Uh,
definitely do that.
okay,
and
thank you.
I can't get
okay.
back, I can't get back till Friday. In fact,
Yeah.
I couldn't do it till Monday. I couldn't do it unless I had on the weekend.
What about electronically? Can you sign a Word document electronically?
I can figure, I know I can do it with the town stuff Jeff sends me. But I don't know if that's the same.
I just use a little, I use
Yeah.
my mouse pad here, right, or trackpad to do the signature. And
Yep.
because if I sign it and get it to Jen right away, she could send you one that has my signature. You electronically sign it, and then Trevor
Yep.
can sign in person.
Okay, okay.
But
Yep.
I can
I'll
turn
figure it
that.
out. Yep. Yeah, I'll do that.
Turn that around, right? Okay. All right.
Great. I will have.
Yep,
that
me
over.
too.
Okay. All right. All right. Is there
We
any
need
other?
to take an
business?
official vote on, because
Yeah. Oh,
the
then
letter
let's
says
Yeah, should
voted
we
on this
vote?
matter.
take a vote on. Let's take I'll hear a motion then.
A motion to send a letter to the, oh, sorry, I don't know the first letter. A motion to send a letter to the Holy Family Roman Catholic Church and to the Deerfield Select Board.
Uh-oh, we just lost Stan.
Yep.
Pop back
I'll
in.
make the
There we go.
back
Yeah.
if
I
he's
think I'm
not.
still-
Oh, there
Are
he
you
is. Yep.
back, Dan?
We
Yeah,
Yeah,
lost him.
sorry, I keep clicking
Google
on it. I
Square
don't know
just
why.
came back.
Maybe someone else should make the motion.
I'll make a motion to send
Somebody
a
else make the
letter
motion.
to
Okay.
the Holy Family Church and the Deerfield Select Board, notifying them that we, due to the constraints on the lease, we are not able to move forward with the lease of the Holy Family Church at this time, regretfully.
Second,
All right. Then we'll vote. All those in favor? Trevor,
Trevor McDaniel, aye.
Dan?
Dan Murphy, aye. Dan Murphy, aye.
Joyce Palmer Fortune. Aye.
Great.
Hey. Is there any other business unanticipated with the last
No,
48
just
hours?
maybe, Jen, if, I guess maybe start moving forward with, I know you will already, just reaching out to see about space and what we can do and what needs to happen,
Okay,
and let us know how we can help.
thank you.
All
I
right.
will keep you all posted.
All right. Thank you so much.
All
We're
right.
scheduled
So
to
then,
meet on the 23rd of this month was the last email unificate or back and forth that majority could meet. Is that date still good for everyone? Or would you-
23rd.
May
What
23rd?
day is
Thursday?
that?
At what time are you talking about on the 23rd?
I think we were gonna go with our 5 or 6 o'clock. I don't know if, I thought you were back, because I had the,
I am back, but I'll be on the West Coast.
okay,
Um, but I should be able to get
Yeah,
someplace.
it's tough for me. I mean, I gotta be honest, Saturday's the best for me now. I've taken a new job, but I know Saturdays are a pain. I could do later. I can do later, like a Monday night or, yeah, I can make it fit, but then Saturdays would be good, best for me.
Doesn't Sunderland have select board meetings on Mondays?
Yeah, we do, and I come home for those. So, yeah, if we can fit it in just before, just after, that's great.
What
Yeah.
time are those meetings? Usually 5 or 6?
Okay.
Those
6:30
6:30,
thanks, Jeff.
6:30.
Okay, maybe we can do something on a Monday. I'll just check with everyone, because they had sent out
Yeah,
a doodle poll, so if we need to reconfigure in between, just let me know.
Okay, that sounds
Okay.
fine.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
That'll-
I can Zoom anytime.
by email.
I can any night. So just, it's
If
only in
it's a
person that I have a
hybrid
problem.
meeting like this, you're good to go, Dan, is what you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
certainly,
Okay.
certainly. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
then we
Yeah,
will
and if it's the
continue to do
23rd,
hybrid.
I'm gonna be hybrid for sure. I'm gonna
Okay.
be Zoom.
Okay.
Yep,
Well,
yep,
I will
yep,
follow
that
up
works,
with
that
an
works.
email confirmation then.
Okay.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn?
Great. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right,
Second.
all those in favor, Trevor,
Trevor McDaniel, aye.
Dan?
Dan Murphy, aye. Dan
Joyce
Murphy,
Mulder-
aye.
Thank you,
Joyce
Dan.
Mulder Fortune, aye.
All right, thank you all.
Great, thanks everybody for
Great,
taking
thanks.
this bit. And
Yep.
I
Bye-bye.
look for things to sign in my basket. Thanks.
All right, bye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye-bye.